Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's live. I'm so glad you all are here and listening. Um, boy, another cold day. We had lots of snow again last night, and but that's okay. I do still love Colorado, and so let's go ahead and get started. This is part two of what's missing from body, mind, and spirit. And we talked last week that the one thing that is missing is emotions and feelings, and so we talked about that. We talked about we deep dived on the body and also on the mind. And this week we're going to be talking about spirit and we're going to be talking about emotions. So let's go ahead and get going on that. Spirit. So when we talk about spirit, I've heard people say, I'm not really spiritual, and I kind of wonder if it's because they're relating spirituality to religion. And for some folks, it is, based in religion, and that's perfectly fine. For others, it's not. And spirituality does not have to be related to religion. So for those of you who believe you are not spiritual, I would really encourage you to think of what it is that really that grounds you, what it is that connects you, what gives you focus, what is what drives you to know and understand what your higher purpose in life is. And um, it's also the base for your values and your ethics is where your spirituality is. How much tolerance you have for another person, that is something else to think about. That's where your spirituality is really lying. And a truly resilient person does have all four of these in balance. They have the body is in balance, the mind, the emotions and feelings, as well as the spirit. Really do think about where your values and ethics lie and what keeps you grounded. Because I know all of you out there in my group are people with high values and ethics, and people who do truly want to be tolerant of other people and their differences and that type of stuff. So let's go ahead and let's talk about emotions and the feelings and emotions. I know we talk about this a lot, but we're going to talk about it from a little different perspective here, because it is totally crucial that it's in balance, and it could definitely throw everything off. And it is the one thing that will help balance the other domains. So I know I've talked about this a lot with Dr. Joe. I do love him, and he does talk about the fact that your thoughts are the electrical field that's going out into the quantum field of possibilities, that electrical charge, and your feelings are what's bringing the actual experiences back to you. So if you're having, you can have all kinds of positive thoughts, but if the true feelings that are inside of you are of the darker side, the fear, the shame, the pain, then that's the experiences that are coming back to you, no matter what's going on with your thoughts. So let's think about this from a perspective of, you're saying things. You could be saying things like, "I'm beautiful, I'm thin, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, but if your feelings are not aligned with that, then what's happening is that thought of, let's say, the thought of health. You're having this thought of health, that I'm healthy. What's happening is that electrical charge is going out to the field of possibilities, all the possibilities of health. Your emotions are going to draw back to you what is aligned with the feeling. So if you're having feelings of fear and shame, then you're not going to have the greatest health experience because of it. So and I know a lot of people talk about the law of attraction. Well, if I'm thinking this way, then why am I not experiencing it? You're not experiencing it because your feelings are not aligned. And as Dr. Joe says, if your feelings are not aligned with the thought stops right here. It doesn't go any further than here. Because you're not aligned. The heart is not aligned with what's going on with the thought. So it I'm arguing that your emotions are absolutely key to what's going on in your experiences. So let's go ahead and I want to first talk about coherence, because that's really important to understand the balancing of body, mind, spirit, and feelings. So, or what HeartMath calls is the four domains of resilience. So In my trainings on heart rate variability, I've got there's a part 1 and a part 2, so you'll need to listen to both of them. But specifically in the part 2, I do go into the details of coherence, and I just want to do a little recap and touch on that a little bit here, because it is important that you understand that in order to understand what's going on with the 4 domains. So the heart rate variability and coherence has to do with your heart rate pattern, and what's being calculated. This waveform is getting calculated, and the waveform is based on your varying heart rate. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by varying heart rate, you are going to have to go into those trainings to understand that. I don't want to go into those details. But it is your varying heart rate over time. It is what is being looked at to determine your coherence levels, and HeartMath has over 30 years of studies. And in these studies, they have shown that when you're coherent, when you're when you're feeling love and compassion and gratitude, those types of lighter feelings, your this pattern is very very smooth. It's very harmonious. And when you're having those feelings of fear, shame, pain, guilt, it's really jagged. All right. And you don't want that, because, and they have, through these studies and kind of, hooking people up, have seen that when those feelings, those true feelings of gratitude and love and joy, and this harmonious wave is happening, both sides of your brain is firing, and you really, really, really want to have both sides of your brain firing at all times. That's what helps you to come up with solutions. That's what helps you to be able to think calmly in situations. So you really want that to be happening. The other thing that's happening is your nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, is sending both the sympathetic and the parasympathetic signals at the same time. And if you listen to the heart rate variability trainings, you'll understand why that is crucial, that is happening. So if you have not listened to those trainings, please go back and listen to them. So, all right. So what happens when one of these domains is off and you're not in this coherence space where you could be thinking clearly and where you could be having the amazing experiences coming into your life? Let's talk about it from a health perspective. Let's say that you're feeling gas and bloating, and so now your physical domain is off because your gut is feeling really ick. And so what kind of thoughts do you think are going to be going through your head, your mind? Is probably going to be all around, what could this be? Could I have diverticulitis? Can I have Crohn's disease? Can I have, ulcerated colitis? Why is it, could I have celiac? I mean, your thoughts are going to all of this stuff. And so now, because your physical body is off, your mind is off. Now, because your mind is off and your mind is having these darker thoughts, you're going to be in more than likely, you're going to be in the feeling state of fear and pain and fear and fear, and you really don't want to be there, because you're, like I said, you're drawing that, you're drawing that back to you. So, and now if all 3 of these are off, how tolerant are you of other people? How many times are you in a situation where, because all 3 of these domains are off and your stress level is high, so you're saying things that you don't want to say to somebody else, your temper's going off. There's all kinds of things that are happening on the spiritual level. You're not aligning with your values and with your ethics. Because of it, you're not aligning with truly who you are. And so all 4 of these domains go off. So what is the one thing that is going to help get everything back? Is getting back into that feeling state of love, of compassion, of gratitude. And one of the things that, one of the reasons, well, I love HeartMath for probably 1,000 different reasons, but there are some techniques that they teach, or that I teach now. And these techniques are in my advanced program. The beginner program is more about teaching you really how to move from the darker feelings over to the lighter feelings. And there's 4 or 5 techniques that you learn in that area. And then what happens in the advanced program is we teach you how to get in touch with your intuitive heart. And that is crucial to actually find a solution to any problem that's going on in your life, is to get in touch with that intuitive heart of yours. Your heart is so intelligent, and it has so many things that it wants to be able to talk to you about. But if you're not in touch with these positive feelings, you can't listen to what it's telling you. One of the other advanced techniques that I teach is around working with getting yourself in coherence. When you're in coherence, you can have those great logical thoughts that you really do need, and you need to be able to take those great logical thoughts and you need to be able to marry it up with what your heart intelligence is telling you. And once you can start marrying those stuff up, you are going to come up with amazing solutions to the problems that you're having in your life. And so this is what Heart Math is truly about. It's about helping you to solve these issues and helping you to get more in touch with yourself. So anyhow, if you do want to learn more, I believe the link is in the post. So go ahead and click on the link. I'd love to talk to you about what's going on with you and how Heart Math can help you. To find your solutions, right? And I also know that last week I talked about teaching the foundation of the foundation technique. And the foundation technique is amazing, but it's not necessarily to get you to where I really want to get you to. And so what I've decided to do is to do a 3-day workshop. I think that's going to be a lot better. And it's not going to be an all-day workshop. It's going to be more of like maybe 2 hours a day for 3 to 5 days. I'm building the program right now. I'm really excited about it. I'm planning on having it sometime mid-March. I haven't come up with the dates yet or the times. It is going to be on Zoom. I am going to limit it to 10 people. So you do want to, sign up for it as quickly as you can when it does come out. And I'll keep talking about it in every live until I know exactly what date and time it is. But what will help me to understand what works best for all of you is let me know in the comments what works for you as far as date and time is concerned. But the other thing is that with this workshop, I am going to be recording it. So if you sign up, you will get the recordings. And so that you will be able to work through it yourself, even if you're not doing it with me live. But I would love to have you live so that we can have, chatting time and that type of stuff on Zoom. So let me know what it is that works for you time-wise. And maybe I'll even change the time of the lives that I do every week, the live trainings that I do every week, if you guys would want to see me more in person. So, or when I'm actually doing it. So thank you so much for joining next week's live because it is Valentine's week. It's going to be on the healing power of love. So looking forward to talking to you all again next week. And all right. I hope you enjoyed your time here. I know I did. And we will talk to you all soon.